Hello and welcome to Sabha TV, watching Midday News with me, Ram Nath Kovind. Let's have a look at the top headlines. On a day-long visit to Haryana, Prime Minister Modi to unveil 64-foot-tall statue of peasant leader Deen Bandhu Sir Chotu Ram will lay foundation stone of rail coach factory at Sonipat. No need to panic, things are under control, says Health Minister JP Nadda after Zika virus outbreak in Jaipur. Central team assisting Rajasthan government to contain spread. Health advisory issued in all districts of Bihar. India all set to regain the tag of fastest growing economy of the world. International Monetary Fund forecasts that it will overtake China with 7.3% growth rate for 2018 and 7.4% for 2019. China expected to grow at 6.6% in 2018 and 6.2% in 2019. UN Security Council needs to be reformed without delay, says India. India's UN ambassador Syed Akbaruddin says any delay will leave the world body battling diminishing relevance in the modern world. An historic gold for India at Youth Olympics in Buenos Aires. Jeremy Lal Rinunga wins the yellow medal in 62kg weightlifting category, making it the first gold medal for India ever at the Games. A top story. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will unveil a 64-foot-tall statue of peasant leader, late Sir Chotu Ram, in Sampla township of Rohtak district of Haryana today. Deen Bandhu Sir Chotu Ram was a prominent politician in British India's Punjab province and championed the interest of oppressed peasants. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of a rail coach factory in Badi village in Sonipat. The state government has transferred 160 acres of land to Railway Ministry for the same. Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar said the Prime Minister has also been invited for a program to be organised on the completion of 4 years of BJP government in the state on November 1st. Health Minister JP Nadda has said there is no need to panic in the wake of Zika virus outbreak. He also added that the situation is under control because of an alert surveillance mechanism present.
Zika virus हमारे सर्विलेंस के कारण आया है और हमारा सर्विलेंस इतना रोबस्ट है सारे देश में कि कोई भी ऐसा केस आता है तो उस केस को हम पकड़ लेते हैं और उसके बाद हमारे स्टैंडर्ड प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं। WHO के साथ मिलकर के उन स्टैंडर्ड प्रोटोकॉल्स को हम ध्यान में रखते हैं। आइसोलेटेड केस है या कलेक्टिव केस है, केसेस का इंसिडेंस क्या है, हमारे ICMR इंडियन काउंसिल फॉर मेडिकल रिसर्च इसकी सर्विलेंस भी चलती है, अपने डिपार्टमेंट की भी सर्विलेंस चलती है। तो ICMR और नेशनल सेंटर फॉर डिजीज़ कंट्रोल और हमारा DGHS डायरेक्टर जनरल ऑफ हेल्थ सर्विसेज, ये तीनों मिल करके टीम कॉम्प्राइज करके इसको देख रहे हैं। मैं आपके माध्यम से भारत की जनता को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि एवरीथिंग इज अंडर कंट्रोल, नथिंग टू बी पैनिक, इट इज़ अवर कंटिन्यूअस सर्विलेंस प्रोसेस विच इज़ गोइंग ऑन एंड वी विल टेक अकॉर्डिंगली। जहां जहां इसके इंसिडेंट्स मिलते हैं वहां हम पूरी तरीके से इसको हम समाप्त करने के लिए उस कम्युनिटी में जो भी प्रोटोकॉल्स अडॉप्ट करने होते हैं वो सारे करते हैं।
The Prime Minister's office has sought a comprehensive report from the Health Ministry on the outbreak of Zika virus. This after 22 people were tested positive for infection in Rajasthan's Jaipur. A 7-member high-level central team is in Jaipur to assist the state government in control and containment measures. The control room has been activated at the National Centre for Disease Control to undertake regular monitoring of the situation. One of those affected in Jaipur hails from Bihar and had visited his Siwan home recently. Bihar has issued advisory in its all 38 districts.
भारत सरकार के स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय की तरफ से एक जानकारी आई है कि 28 अगस्त से लेकर 12 सितंबर तक सिवान का एक लड़का जो राजस्थान से आया था उस पे जाइका वायरस पॉजिटिव पाया गया और जब ये जानकारी आई तो हम सब लोगों ने उस लड़के के बारे में पता लगाया। वो लड़का अभी भी राजस्थान में रह रहा है और वो पूरी तरीके से स्वस्थ है, निरोग है। निश्चित रूप से उस वक्त उसको जाइका वायरस का असर हुआ था और उसके कारण हमने राज्य के सभी जिलों में भी इसके लिए अलर्ट भेज दिया है। हमारा विभाग उस दिशा में काम कर रहा है। और उसके परिवार और उस गांव के लोगों को भी स्वास्थ्य विभाग देख रेख कर रहा है कि वहाँ इस प्रकार की कोई और मरीज तो नहीं है। लेकिन वह बीमारी राजस्थान से आया था, वो बिहार में उसको नहीं हुआ था।
Zika virus disease is an emerging disease currently being reported by 86 countries worldwide. Symptoms of Zika virus disease are similar to other viral infections such as dengue and include fever, skin rashes, conjunctivitis, muscle and joint pains, malaise and headache. Now, International Monetary Fund has forecast a growth rate of 7.3% for India in the current year of 2018 and 7.4% in 2019. In 2017, India had clocked a 6.7% growth rate. The world body said the acceleration in growth figures reflected a rebound from transitory shock with strengthening investment and robust private consumption. Its World Economic Outlook report said India's medium-term growth prospects remain strong at 7%, benefiting from the ongoing structural reforms. If projections are true, then India would regain the tag of fastest-growing major economies of the world, crossing China with more than 0.7 percentage point in 2018 and an impressive 1.2 percentage point growth lead in 2019. On China, however, the IMF has said its 2019 growth projection is lower than in April, given the latest round of US tariff on Chinese imports. In China, growth is projected to moderate from 6.9% in 2017 to 6.6% in 2018 and down to 6.2% in the year 2019. The report further stated the global growth has plateaued at 3.7%. The IMF warned the world that there are clouds on the horizon and growth has proven to be less balanced than hoped. The International Monetary Fund has warned that as many as 180 million jobs for women are at high risk of being displaced globally due to new technologies like automation. The global financial institution urged the world leadership to endow women with requisite skills, close gender gap in leadership positions, bridge the digital divide and ease transition for workers. In a note released during the annual IMF and World Bank meeting in Bali, the world body said the figures of massive potential job loss for women is based on its estimate of 30 countries. Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has said that 2 state refineries have placed orders for importing crude oil from Iran in November. It is the month when US sanctions on Iranian oil purchase takes effect. This is first time Pradhan has spoken about India's stand on buying Iranian oil once the US sanctions on Iran come into force from November 4th. IOC and Bangalore Refinery and Petrochemicals Limited together have placed an order of 1.25 million ton of crude oil from Iran. US sanction against Iran will kick in from November 4th, which will block payment routes. Paying in rupee is an option. Iran can use rupee to settle its import of pharmaceuticals and other goods from India. While India wants to continue importing Iranian oil, though in reduced volume, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo last month stated Washington would consider waivers on the embargo but made it clear that these would be time-limited if granted. US President Donald Trump in May withdrew from 2015 nuclear accord with Iran, reimposing economic sanctions against the Persian Gulf nation.
2 दिन पहले हमारी दो कंपनियों ने ईरान से तेल नवंबर महीने के लिए नॉमिनेशन किया है। उसकी स्वाभाविक प्रश्न जुड़ रहे कि वेवर हुई कि नहीं हुई। हमें क्या पता हुई कि नहीं हुई, कंपनियों ने तो वो कर दिया है। क्या ये एक नई डिप्लोमेटिक ऑर्डर नहीं है? भारत की उभरती हुई लीडरशिप की रिकॉग्निशन नहीं है? ये एनर्जी से जुड़ा हुआ है।
Now on to the President Ram Nath Kovind's 3-day visit to Tajikistan. President Kovind today met Speaker of Tajik Parliament and Speaker of the lower house of Parliament and discussed a wide range of issues with them. The President also met Tajik Prime Minister Kohir Rasulzoda. On Monday, President Kovind has said the war on terror and radicalization is not against any religion and should never be. He said this while delivering a lecture to the students at Tajik National University in Dushanbe. Speaking on the topic of countering radicalization, challenges in modern societies, the President said India is a land of equal opportunity and equal respect for all. The President also emphasized the positive role of family in preventing and countering radicalization of youth.
No religion, none whatsoever be it Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, Sikhism, or Judaism justifies violence and killing one human being by the other. They all talk in one language, and that is the language of peace, harmony, compassion, and kindness. The war on terror and radicalization is not against any religion and should never be. Quite on the contrary, it is against those who believe in destroying the creation of the Almighty.
Earlier, President Kovind met the President of Tajikistan, Emomali Rahmon, and both countries signed MOUs in various fields. India also offered a grant of $20 million to Tajikistan for development projects. President Kovind reached Tajikistan on October 7th. He's on a 3-day visit to the Central Asian nation. Time for a very short break. More on the midday news on the other side. Standing at the center of Quwwatul Islam Mosque inside the historic Qutub complex, this iconic iron pillar gives us a glimpse of Delhi's tryst with the kingdom and its supremacy. This iconic pillar bears an inscription written in a later form of Brahmi script of Ashokan time. The inscription on the pillar talks about the victory of a great king, defeating his enemies from the expanse of areas between what is now Bengal to Punjab. The pillar is 7 meters tall and is 1 meter below the ground with diameter of 48 centimeters at the foot, getting slender at the top, measuring 29 centimeters. Weighing approximately 6.5 tons, the pillar was manufactured by forged welding and has not rusted ever since. As per the popular folklores, Delhi's Rajput king Anandpal Tomar gave this land a name based on this pillar. The story goes that King Anandpal Tomar was told by a sage that this pillar is immovable and rested on a hood of a serpent king, Vasuki. Out of sheer curiosity, Tomar decided to check the ground beneath the pillar, and surprisingly, he indeed found the pillar resting on the head of a serpent king. In an awe of what he has seen, Tomar bowed to the land and ordered to install the pillar back. The pillar could be fixed back firmly and remained loose, dhila as we call it in Hindi. It was here Delhi got the first variant of his name, Dhili, the land whose soil is loose. Welcome back. Vice President Imran has appealed to youngsters to devote some time in helping the needy and vulnerable section of society. Speaking at the valedictory function of the birth centenary celebration of the former National Commissioner of Bharat Scouts and Guides, Deen Dayalu Naidu, the Vice President called for making Scouts and Guides compulsory for obtaining any college degree. He said Bharat Scouts and Guide movement plays a crucial role in inculcating discipline among young people and contributes to their education through a value system.
That is the lesson we have to draw from the life of Sri Deen Dayal Naidu. Living for the society. Share and care is the core of Indian philosophy. Share and care is the core of Indian philosophy. The Scouts movement inculcates such habits. That's why I was suggesting to Scindia, I wanted to suggest to the government also that Scouts movement or NCC or Air Wing or Navy or NSS, one of these courses must be made compulsory for anybody to get a degree. To get a degree, time has come now. You need discipline in society. You need social consciousness in the society. You need people to think, particularly youngsters, above all, caste, creed, sex, religion and region.
The Supreme Court declined urgent hearing on a plea seeking review of its verdict allowing women of all age groups entry into Sabrimala temple. A bench comprising Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Justices S.K. Kaul and K.M. Joseph had considered the plea submitted by Shaila Vijayan, President of National Ayyappa Devotees Association, which contended that the court's verdict lifting the ban was absolutely untenable and irrational. A 5-judge constitution bench headed by then Chief Justice Deepak Mishra had in its 4:1 verdict said banning the entry of women into a shrine is gender discrimination and practice violates right of Hindu women. Union Women and Child Development Minister Maneka Gandhi has asked the Law Ministry to remove the age limit for reporting child sexual abuse and allow people to complain even after 10 to 15 years. Noting that anger at molestation and sexual abuse never goes away, Gandhi said she was very happy that the Me Too campaign has encouraged women to talk about sexual harassment they have faced. Under Section 468 of the CRPC, any offence, including child abuse, which can lead to a prison term of 3 years, has to be reported within 3 years of the incident. She had earlier proposed that child sexual abuse victims be allowed to register complaints until they are 30. Discussing the Me Too movement, the minister warned that it should not be used to target people who have offended us in some way.
There is a Me Too campaign that has started, and I'm very happy that it has started. I hope it won't go out of control in the sense that we target people who have offended us in some way. But on the whole, I think that women are responsible, and the anger at sexual molestation never goes away, never. You will always remember the person who did it, which is why we have taken steps we've written to the Law Ministry saying that the complaints should be without any time limit.
The government has set up a panel headed by NSA Ajit Doval to assist the National Security Council. The council advises Prime Minister on matters of national security and strategic interest. The Strategic Policy Group will assist National Security Council and undertake, among other tasks, a long-term strategic review of country's security affairs. It will be a principal mechanism for interministerial coordination of integration of relevant inputs in the formulation of national security policies. The SPG will be chaired by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and its member, which include Niti Aayog Vice Chairman, the Cabinet Secretary and the Chiefs of 3 Defence Forces, the RBI Governor, the Foreign Secretary, the Home Secretary, the Finance Secretary and the Defence Secretary. Top Army commanders will deliberate on operational challenges and various reform initiatives during a week-long conference starting today in New Delhi. During the Army Commanders Conference to be held from today till the 15th of this month, a host of issues ranging from operational, administrative, logistic and human resources will be discussed. As part of the conclave, commanders and directorates at Army headquarters will in a collegiate deliberate on important studies that have been ordered to meet future operational challenges. India has said that United Nations Security Council needs to be reformed without delay. India's permanent representative to UN, Syed Akbaruddin, said the reforms must be done at the earliest or else the Council will be left to nurse self-inflicted wounds of diminishing relevance in the modern world. While participating in the General Assembly session on Monday, Akbaruddin said the Council is all about primacy but with little purpose. He added there is need to update the current architecture of international institutions which are so out of sync with the modern world. Akbaruddin also asserted that nations cannot pose as guardians of status quo that no longer exists. Now, international news now. Tech giant Google is shutting down its social networking site Google+. This after company acknowledged the technical glitch was found to have compromised accounts and personal information of over 5 lakh of its users. The announcement in this regard was made by Ben Smith, Google Fellow and Vice President of Engineering. However, there is no confirmation on which users have been impacted by the bug. The company also said they have found no evidence that profile data was misused. The technical bug was detected as part of an effort called Project Strobe, started by Google early this year. The Wall Street Journal, which was the first to report about it, said that a software glitch in the social site gave outside developers potential access to private Google+ profile data between 2015 and March 2018, when internal investigators discovered and fixed the issue. The company has said Google+ won't be shut down immediately. It will be implemented over a 10-month period, slated for completion by the end of August next year. Time for a very small break. More news on the other side.
On this edition of India's World, we will analyze the developments in the Maldives.
The whole world is watching, the international community is watching, and I don't think President Yamin can do something so drastic as to subvert this mandate of the people, really.
China has created a debt trap. So about 10% of Maldives' budget today, $92 million every year, is for debt servicing only to China. So 70% of debt servicing is happening to China alone. If that was the kind of backing that President Yamin enjoyed over a period of time, you now have Xi Jinping saying, we are willing to talk to the next leader and we are willing to engage with the next leader. So the strongest pillar of support, as if, is already drifting away from Yamin.
Like President Obama said when he had come during his last visit to Delhi, and when he says, when you want to become a great power, with great power status comes responsibilities. In our neighborhood, to maintain order is our responsibility.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. On to sports news now. India's medal tally increased to 22 with 4 gold and 6 silver and 12 bronze at Asian Paralympic Games in Jakarta. Ekta Bhyan won gold in women's club throw F32 by 51 event in the best throw of 16.02 meters, while UAE's Thekra Al-Kabi won silver at the throw of 15.75. Javelin thrower Sandeep Chaudhary produced a stunning world record effort to seal the first gold medal of the competition. Sandeep finished on the top of F42-44 by 61-64 category with the best throw of 60.01 meters. In women's T11 1500 event, Raju Rakshita claimed another gold for India. While in swimming, Jadhav Suyosh Narayan clinched gold in men's 50 meters butterfly event. 2016 Rio Paralympic silver medalist Deepa Malik settled for bronze in women's F53-54 javelin throw with an effort of 10.15 meters. Weightlifter Jeremy Lal Rinanga won India's maiden gold medal at the Youth Olympic in Buenos Aires. It was also India's first ever gold at the Youth Olympics. Lal Rinanga claimed the top honours in the men's 62 category. He lifted a total of 274 kg to finish on the top, while Turkey's Toptas Caner won the silver by lifting 263 kgs. In women's 10-meter air rifle event, ace Indian shooter Mehuli Ghosh won silver medal. Mehuli shot 9.1 in final shot to claim the silver with a total of 248.0 points. While Denmark's Stephanie Gransoe clinched the gold with a total score of 248.7 points. India will face Japan in the third match of Sultan of Johor Junior Men's Hockey Tournament in Malaysia today. Earlier on Monday, India beat New Zealand 7-1. Shilanand Lakra scored 2 goals for India to help Indian side beat New Zealand. India started its campaign by beating host Malaysia 2-1 in a hard-fought encounter. India so far unbeaten in the tournament, and with 2 wins in 2 games, India is at the top of the table with 6 points. After some cricket news, Indian cricket captain Virat Kohli and pace bowler Jasprit Bumrah retained top spot in the latest ICC ODI rankings. Kohli led the batsman list with 884 points, while his deputy Rohit Sharma with 842 ranking points maintained the second position. The other Indian batsman in the top 10 was Shikhar Dhawan, who is placed in the list at the 5th with 802 points. Among the bowlers, Jasprit Bumrah with 797 points was on the top, while left-arm wrist spinner Kuldeep Yadav with 700 points is third on the list. In the team ranking, India currently placed second with 122 points, which is 5 points behind England's 127. That's it for now. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more. Thank you.